Good to see you again, Richard. So, in terms of what we're going to talk about today, it's more around, obviously there's a big change in the way people are using devices and being contactable and starting conversations internally and externally, and there's a big uptake in the use of mobile devices and trying to extend that conversation out of the enterprise onto any kind of device, tablets, mobiles, PCs, outside of the traditional handset on the desk.
Yeah.
From your experience, what are you seeing in terms of the marketplace and what's happening in terms of people trying to use mobility more as a function of the enterprise rather than a classic mobile phone?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I've still got a Nokia 6110 in my bag just in case the old iPhone batteries used to die. I think, my opinion on the iPhones, right? I'm much more of a favour of Android.
I'm aware, unfortunately.
I think it makes an interesting point because you tend to find that users adopt what they want to adopt. And they do so in a way that's either based on their experience, or it's based on the reliability of a device, or even sometimes it's based on a bad experience. I mean, I just wasn't happy with the iPhone, and I've never been happier with them with my Android device. It's just one of those things. What's more important? Is it bring your own device, any selection, or is it security, or is it the policy of how you do it? Is it the technology that's the challenge? What's your thoughts?
In terms of what we're seeing with our customers, it's not necessarily a specific device. It's what devices can we support?
Fair enough.
How do we allow those devices into our enterprise? How do we manage them, both when they're on the network and off the network? And how can we ensure that the richness of functionality is generally consistent across whatever device we decide to allow into our network?
See, that's interesting, because the user experience, I found, if you then drive that and try and bring enterprise applications into this piece, that's when it starts to get challenging. I mean, we've had a lot of conversations around the policy. So who owns the data? How do I manage the data? And I think about some of the portfolio challenges around, do you secure a device for a bring your own device? Or should you really be focusing on the applications? Now we focus on the application because then it leaves the rest of that person's own device free to do whatever it wants. So we're not dealing with Facebook traffic, Twitter traffic, but we can secure things like Flare and Scopia natively through SBC and through Superior.
That's interesting, because when we've been working with some customers where they've had quite a draconian management policy, they've locked down the device to such an extent that people just don't want to use their own device anymore because it's no use to them outside the enterprise. As in, so they just abandon that device and the BYOD policy kind of falls before it even starts, really.
I mean, that's the thing, the policy falls. And it falls because you're right, it's too restrictive. In fact, I can't remember the acronym now, but there was a very nice gentleman at a conference a few months ago, and he said, it's no longer bring your own device, because we can't do it. And we talked about security, and he didn't really know that was the opportunity with some of the stuff we do at Avaya. But initially he was like, it's not bring your own device, it's bring the device we tell you to bring, which is a significantly more complicated acronym.
Kind of defeats the object of what BYOD is.
Yeah, and I think this then comes down to this. We were talking earlier about federation, obviously, and federation for me is that critical component, the underlying need. The strategy for a company must be about federation, and it's not just does my Microsoft work with my Microsoft, does my Cisco work with my Cisco. It has to be about, does this user experience on any device, iPhone, Android, tablet, whatever it is, does it maintain a quality and consistent user experience, and can you federate between them? And that's really where we've made huge leaps forward when we talk about things like awareness and federation as part of our profile.